We're
Notice with me
out
is I
here.
try for a voice.
We all try for voices.
Yeah, true.
That's
Well,
part of the fun. All right, we're officially out here. We are officially recording. First session, friends. Let's go. Let me do this.
let's go.
One little that. Mm. One thing I haven't mentioned yet, just a little how I'm going to be running this. Normally, I don't care about like gold. Normally, I'm like, I give all my adventurers just gold, right? Because it's like you're going to pay in gold, things are going to get expensive, whatever. I don't care about coppers, all this. I don't care about the day of the week, what month is it in this world kind of thing. Because we're trying to stop the world from being exploded. Who cares what's going on? But with this being a slice of life, I am going to, on my end for you all, try and present things a little bit more in world. So like there'll be references to the day of the week and the currency, what they call it in water. Excuse me, I'm all burpy for my break. So you'll see that. I don't expect you all to remember that, but I'm doing it for the benefit of you all to get a little bit more immersion, a little bit more feel for what Waterdeep is, right? Because that's kind of like the star of the show through the adventure. So you'll see things, but there's no test. I don't care if you don't know what month it is or what the days of the weeks are like or anything like that. All right. So, shall we begin? Harvest tide is within a 10-day, but already the taste of autumn is in the air. Cool breezes down from the spine of the world run through the city of splendors as dusk settles in. The Lamplighters Guild are making their quick and efficient work of lighting thousands of street lamps. The cool wind brushes nobility strolling the castle ward and northwards, running across their summer coats and shawls, because one does not wear the newest fall fashions until after harvest tide. The breeze slides over the scenic lawns, park vistas, and stoic statues of the city of the dead. Already a few of the maple trees there are showing their red. Through the grand temples the breeze runs, across the top of Saloon's tall tower, where her priests are already gathering on its open vista, preparing for a night of study, of worship of the heavens. Finally, we see it also run across the temple of Tempest, his grand visage carved of marble and his great hammer in his hand standing outside their tall doors. This is appropriate, for tonight is Tempest night, his night. And throughout Waterdeep, makeshift rinks and arenas have been set up by the temple to host sporting events. If you can call hand-to-hand bloody combat a sport. We come then to the legendary Yawning Portal Tavern, seemingly in the heart of the city itself, the gathering place of adventurers from across the face of Faerun and beyond. Inside, a multitude of shouts, yells, and many curses of dozens of different tongues spill out of windows open to that breeze. Inside, we find the crowd gathered around a raised platform in the middle of the tavern. Ominously, the yawning portal, the giant circular hole in the middle of the tavern that delves down into the Undermountain, is not far away. The crowd is screaming at three figures, two combatants, and a halfling with priestly armor of Tempest, who is watching their fights closely, waiting to intervene if necessary. Brent, I would like you to describe your character and what they see on the rink in the fighting arena as your character reels back from a blow to the face from a kick from the combatant across from you.
So you see
a uh, a Goliath, and he is doesn't wear much. He's got like a loincloth kind of a thing and some wraps around his wrists, but doesn't seem to be carrying any weapons or anything else. You're pretty sure he's a Goliath because of his build and his skin color, and he's got those weird lines that Goliaths have on him. Um, but he seems really short for a Goliath. He's like probably about 6 foot, maybe a little over, but he doesn't seem to be that massive size you're used to seeing. You probably wouldn't notice it except for the fact that he's fighting other people and the size comparison next to them.
Yeah, and so the person across from you they looks like an elf, maybe a sea elf, but burly with scars, a little bit of nautical tattoos on their body, but only in their pants as they're exposed as they bounce back from kicking you in the face.
Excellent. So yeah, you would expect him to be like head and shoulders above this elf, and he's really only 6.5 inches, maybe taller than this elf. So it kind of like seems odd that either that elf's really big, or he's really small, and it's not just a tallness thing; it's the build, So he's either really small or the elf's really big. His hands are really big, it seems, and kind of calloused and whatnot. He also has really long black hair, which is also not necessarily a thing you normally see on Goliaths, and also a full beard. So he has that kind of like this whole thing going on where he's very hairy, very big for a small Goliath. And yeah, as he as he gets punched, and you kind of see him kind of reel back, um, y- you'd almost expect him to look like disappointed, like, oh man, I got hit or whatever. But he kind of has like a smirk, and he's got a look like he's studying his opponent almost. And the smirk isn't like cockiness, but it's like, oh, I see what you did there. And then he readjusts his feet a little bit, and then he comes back in um, to take a swing. But it's a feint. He's making it look like he's going to punch, but then he brings the knee up
Yeah, go ahead
and
and
gets the
roll
guy.
your first narrative roll because if you're successful, that
Sure.
might inform it. And as Pebbles, or excuse me, I put Pebbles in here because that was your nickname, but I will change that as Uda Ada. I know I did probably get that
Udada.
right. Uda Ada
Yeah,
goes
perfect.
in for his
Udada.
first roll and gets into it. Think about what your characters are doing, everyone else, as there's a fight going on. It's a makeshift rink in the middle of the yawning portal, but bets are being taken. It's a gatherer for adventurers. So as we go through his first narrative role, some of you guys know what that is. I'll explain it later. It's not too important in this crucial moment. We'll just think about where your characters are getting into, and we'll kind of start cutting away to you guys as you kind of define what you're doing in this space in the middle of Tempest Night, in the middle of this fight. All right, so yeah, go ahead and roll your best attack roll for me.
So look at that.
Whoa.
Total of
Pretty good
20. Excellent. Ooh, all right. Continue with it as you land a blow and you win the first contest
Sweet.
against your person here. Yep.
So yeah, so you see him. He kind of like feints like he's about to throw a punch, and as the elf brings his arms up, the Goliath shifts his weight forward on his other leg and brings the knee up right to the solar plexus of the elf and kind of knocking him back. And it also kind of not fully knocked the wind out of him, but really kind of shock to the body. You hear that exhalation of air as that knee kind of pushes in on the sternum and knocks the wind out of the
Love it.
out of the lungs of that elf.
All right. So, Cora, what is your character doing in the midst of all of this? How are they being involved at all? Looking for people, keep looking for marks, looking for people to murder. I know nothing about your character.
Murder.
Let's see. I don't know if I have my token on here.
I apologize. I
Where
thought I
am I?
copy and pasted it. You're off screen. Sorry. Oop, there you go.
Okay.
Oop.
Ooh, let's see.
Sorry, I
let's see.
zoomed out. I can't tell if I got you the right size. Yeah, there you go.
Yep. I think that's good. Okay. So Cora is actually yeah, she's over here. Kind of keeping to herself. She's eating dinner, but you could tell like her attention span is outwards. She's, listening, watching, that kind of thing.
So no real too interest in it. Just bore her. Like I don't care. Just another fight.
Not exactly bored. She's mostly just trying to not draw attention to herself.
Okay.
But she's she's keeping an ear out for information. But she doesn't want to put herself like in the spotlight at all.
So what do they see quietly in the shadows, or we see it as the audience?
Yeah, so you see a average height woman. She has like very wild curly red hair. She is very, very plated armor, so she looks like very, very hard to hit. She has this like interesting, like on half of her hair, it's almost like a yellowish green kind of tint. But it's kind of like comes down in stripes, so it's really random. And then most unusual of all, she has this like bronze mask, almost like kind of like Phantom of the Opera style, where it covers the left side of her face. And she seems to like kind of almost brush her hair down in front of the mask, she tries to keep that half hidden, but she's quietly eating her food and keeping her senses aware.
Does she have an alcoholic drink? Whiskey, wine, beer, water, milk?
No
water?
alcohol.
No alcohol.
Ooh,
Oh.
a glass of milk. 'Cause I love milk.
Build those bones. All right.
Yes.
Love it. Graf, would you like to describe your character and what they're doing in this moment?
As the fight is going on, Graf is calling from over here, and once Uda does the feint and the knee, he's just gonna get up and get to the side of the stage. And as he runs, you see about 3'9" gnome. I can real quick post the picture, I believe. Wait, nope. As a visual aid, but he's got a red hair, as you can in there it is. So that's at least the face of him. Yeah, red hair that he tries to keep nice, but the rest of his clothes are standard, basically peasant looking stuff.
Obviously a gnome, right?
Yes, gnome. Yeah, small and nimble, and once Uda does the feint and knee in, Graf storms up out of the seat in which he was eating basically, a bread and water soup sort of thing with the cheapest ale they've got. Rushes up. Oh, come on! Come on, you long, slender, and whatever the fuck you want to say. I've got 5 silver on you.
Love it. The stakes are real. Yeah, definitely do what Riley did there. If you want to say you bet money on it, 100%. Yep. Anything else, Graf?
He's like desperately jumping to try and see from behind this one here.
Like, move the fuck out of the way. Don't make me kick you down the fucking tunnel. You kind of bump your way in. Yeah, so...
Don't make me headbutt you in the groin. Get out of my way.
Roll intimidation check.
Ooh.
That's
one skill I don't have anything in.
Yeah.
16.
16. I like...
Oh.
Don't kick me in the balls, you little bastard. And you kind of push your way up to the front of it. Excellent. Hillshire, what are we seeing and what are you doing?
Hillshire, he's a little guy. He's not that tall. He's probably somewhere around 5'4". He's got very clean looking clothes. He's probably sitting here at this table and he's watching the fight, but he's also practicing, like, what a 3-card Monty.
I actually don't know what 3-card Monty is. Obviously, I've heard it before, but I actually don't know it. Oh, is it the little... Oh, it's a trick. Okay, yeah, it's a confidence game. I just did a quick Google. Yeah. So, do you have somebody at the table, or are you hoping to attract someone to do the 3-card Monty.
It's more he's just practicing. He's
Just practicing. Okay.
He's-
Yeah.
but he's watching the fight. Every other time somebody lands a blow, you just can hear in the corner, oh,
Ooh.
oh, oh.
Oh. Love it. All right, Zaba, any thoughts on what your character's doing in this moment?
Yeah, so Zappa is not exactly interested in the goings on of interested in betting really, and not entertained really with the fight and eating stew, just enjoying it, kind of stoic with a relatively serious, uninterested look on her face. Uh, uh, I'm wearing kind of like a samurai-inspired leather armor, with layers and just kind of layered plate look. And there's a katana on my hip, and I'm just eating this stew, trying to mind my own business, really.
Zaba, if it's okay, because I think you mentioned something you could be doing, would you go ahead and roll a perception check for me? I'll give you a little bit more
Yeah.
information on what that is after you make your roll.
Perception.
4. Excellent. Above table, like you would know, like a fight like this would gather all sorts of folks, excluding the Yawning Portal. Though a little bit more reputable, it's still a den for adventurers and a crossroads of all sorts of different types. So you've been kind of scanning the crowd, if you might be saying, looking for signs of anybody with any certain affiliations. Unfortunately, you don't catch anything right away in the chaos and the shouts or anything like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. All right, we kind of pull back into it as the guy reels back from you hitting him in a solar plex, and he then comes back to try and you guys re-engage. So Pebbles, go and give me another one of your attack rolls, please. Oh, I did mention this, and I'll do it before he even rolls. Everyone gets a heroic inspiration off the rip.
Ooh.
Ooh. And so heroic inspiration, so it's on your D&D Beyond sheet at the top. There's a place for you to click it, and you can have one at any time. There's like a little, you can click it and it'll put a little marker there showing that you have one. So at the top of your D&D Beyond sheets, heroic inspiration. What that means, there's different mechanics that can give it to you. For instance, there's the musician background. During a short rest, a player can give 3 or 4 of their allies heroic inspiration. I'm going to use a rule where if you roll a nat 1, you get it if you don't have it, so that can recharge it. But a heroic inspiration means at any time you roll any dice, not just d20s, any dice. It could be a d100, it could be a d4. You can use it to re-roll, and you can then choose between the 2 rolls. So that's also for you, Pebbles. Like, you have it, so if you wanted to re-roll that 9, you know I rolled a 17, so it's up to you if you want to use it in this moment to get a re-roll.
Sure, why not?
All right, excellent. And there it goes, and it pulls it
Nice.
back. So
Oh,
so that's 2 successes, and that was just going to be a best 2 out of 3. So Pebbles, how would you like to finish off your combat as you guys are like, there are some blows exchanging and you guys are feeling each other out, but then you get the finishing move in. So how would you like to go about
absolutely. Okay, so following up, so that knee like knocked the wind out, right? And so the elf kind of reaches towards his gut and kind of bends over a little bit, which allows Uda to come over the top and get like a front headlock, so wrapped around his head and his forearm. And the elf is so skinny that his arm wraps all the way around, and he's like, "Oh, I know what to do with this." And he just wraps his other arm around his arm to tighten it off, and it starts to choke the elf. So then the elf's trying to fight the arms off, so he's not doing anything from the bottom half. And so Uda takes his leg and trips him and brings him down prone on the ground. And as he, slams down to the ground, knocks him unconscious. Am I supposed to kill him? Am I killing him, or are we fighting to unconsciousness?
The priest of Tempest is like, try not to kill him. But
So,
do what you need
as soon
to.
as he's unconscious-
I've got healing. He's okay because you do like this guy is rotating around. He's a priest, right? He has a little bit of healing abilities. He's here to make sure no one dies.
Yeah, as soon as he feels the elf go limp, he lets go and puts his hands up in the air, and he steps back, and he gets down on his knees and kind of does like a respectful bow to his opponent, like a little
Who's just like
meditation moment towards his opponent.
unconscious on the ground, and everyone's just kind of yelling and shouting, and people are cursing. There's like drinks are being thrown out, like those who just lost bets and such, and everyone's just like kind of
You're supposed to win my silver.
You guys see a little gnome just really starting to cry in his hands, like son of a bitch. Love it. So
since I know Nate is not like a martial arts guy, and maybe some people viewing might not be either, I'll put some stuff in when I describe stuff just so you guys know what it is. So.
Love it.
Yeah.
So the priest of Tempest, this little halfling in his priestly garment kind of comes up and then raises your arm up right as best as he can. He kind of takes your elbow and kind of pushes it up in the air. He's like, "We've got a winner. What was your name again? I know we're going to moment to talk. Tell the crowd your name."
I am Tayagu Uda Adax.
He wins, everyone. Yeah. Congratulations, me. And everyone's already kind of like starting to back away from it. Like half the crowd is like either pissed, some are grabbing winnings, exchanging silver, gold, copper between each other's hands. And another's like, all right, entertainment's done. Like, bring it to the table, and like music starts picking up in the background. Good. That was a good fight. And the priest is like speaking to you, Uda. Is there something else I could perhaps say your name is? It's a little odd.
Uda Ada is shorter.
Uda Ada. It's a pleasure. Not that you need to be an adherent of Tempest, but you did him proud tonight with your prowess, and that was very honorable of you. Do you fight often?
Life is fight.
Yes. That's what Tempest preaches. What was that style? I haven't seen that kind of hand-to-hand in a while. Is there a name for your style of fighting?
I am a pancreationist. Pancreation style.
Ah, yes. I've heard of this. Not one a style that I particularly have studied myself, but you seem very... Our friend here is a pretty good fighter. I've seen him beat more than his fair. Good work. Good work. Know that the Temple of Tempest, if you ever need anything, or training, or assistance, we're happy to house you for anything. Good fight. And he kind of... Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, go say what you're going to say.
It is an honor to practice my skill before a grateful audience.
And and he kind of looks like grateful for those who made coin off of your fight. I think you'll have more bettors next time. Also, make sure next month, if you're interested, make sure you don't pass up on the Foe Hammer tournament.
Foe Hammer.
Foe Hammer.
What is Foe Hammer?
Do you want to roll a history check on the Foe Hammer tournament? Because you do have history in Waterdeep, so this might be something you know. It's like there's a good chance you know it, to be honest.
Sure, probably. I mean, I came here for port, so I mean, my thought is I would probably. I may not know much. But.
Yeah. So let me do this. Sometimes I'm like, if you want your character to know, that's cool. So I'm going to say it. So 11's enough for me. So it is a popular annual fighting tournament in Waterdeep. Foe Hammer. I definitely think sorry, I need to change your name. Udada would have seen maybe in previous times rumors, people talking about the Foe Hammer tournament. And maybe he doesn't know too deeply into it, but he knows the citywide martials tournament hosted by the Temple of Tempest.
Oh, okay. Hmm. The Foehammer sounds like it would be a good test of my progress.
It probably would. You seem the kind of type to, even if you lose, you get back up and you keep pushing.
Uda never loses. He wins or he learns.
The priest kind of nods and kind of smiles, and he kind of reaches his hands up. My name's Yarrow. It's nice to meet you.
What was the name again?
Yarrow. I'll spell it. for you.
Yarrow. He'll do a little namaste type bow.
Mhm.
It was an honor to meet you.
It was. I'll be cleaning up here and getting the ring disassembled. But again, if you need anything, feel free to reach out to me at the temple.
If
Good
I
fight.
may assist you in your labors, I am at your service.
Thank you. Let's. I'll show you how to. And as he's kind of talking, everyone in this floor, as people are kind of breaking away, you begin to hear some more shouts from folks who are near the ring. You hear somebody kind of yelling out, "You fucking bitch! We know you fucking fixed it. You and your and you down here to the southern end around these kind of groups is kind of moving other tokens ways. Other people are kind of gathering around. You see this half orc kind of like as this guy kind of pushes up against her. This guy, the token doesn't look anything like him. Let me give you a very good description of what you see here.
Are you clicking on the map when you're saying this guy? 'Cause I'm
I
not seeing-
did. I see the little ping here.
No, I'm not seeing the pings. Let me refresh. It might just
Happens
be
for a
refresh issue.
second, yeah. So as he kind of
Roll20
pushes,
can be a bit iffy.
yeah, he has a shaved head and he has these eye-shaped tattoos all over his shaved head. But him and some what looks to be other folks who also have these tattoos, but not as many as him, push up against this half orc who kind of pushes back. She's like, "Oh yeah, you think you gonna want anything to do about that fucking Prince?" And she reaches out and fucking lays into this guy, knocking him back into the table, and a fight breaks out between this half orc versus these four folk, and fists are flying. She's trying to kick this guy while he's down, and they're ganging up on her. Does anybody want to do anything about this?
Molested over on the half orc.
A little bit of side bets are like, and people start swinging and fighting. Like, oh, more bets, get into it.
Can I make an insight check to try and determine who I believe is in the right or the wrong?
I'll give this to you for free for an insight check. If what I think, and you can correct me wrong for your character, something obvious would be 4 against 1.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Sounds like
I
a
think
good
that would be the
challenge to make her
closest
better.
thing. Yeah. No, or right? But like, who's the right and who's wrong? I don't think an insight would give you too much more beyond the number disadvantage or whatnot. But she did handle this guy, but the other ones are moving in to start fighting her directly. So it's up to you if you think that's advantage or in the right or wrong.
Whether or not who's right or wrong, I still think Uda's sense of fairness is that this is not a fair fight, so he would want to try to rectify that in some way. I'm trying to think. If he's going to try and stand kind of between, jump in between like her and the others.
Excellent. All right, we'll freeze
And
frame
he'll
there
just-
as you're getting into and getting into it. I want to see if anybody else wants to get involved here.
Oh, okay.
Core, this is breaking out near you. Any interest in being involved?
She, she almost goes to stand up and she kind of like half lifts out of her chair. And then when she sees, not Pebbles, Udada.
Sorry, let me change that while I'm thinking about it. Sorry, and I'm not in the middle of.
Very good. When she sees Udada jump in there to kind of even the odds, she kind of like slowly sits back down, but her body's like very tense.
Okay. Graf, Zaba, Hillshire.
He's probably just gonna watch.
Yeah,
Actually, when
I'm watching, but I wanted to look for anybody who might pull out like brass knuckles or something, that
gotcha.
would be cheating.
So kind of like just you're like edging forward a little bit, just kind of keeping an eye on the fight to see if it's gonna get dirty or not. What are you gonna say, Hillshire?
It's just if I hear Graph, how much were you putting on it?
I've got my last silver. It's all I've got left to bet. I've got it on that half orc.
Kicking chairs. One of them picks up the chair and starts swinging and hits her right in the back as you say that, and she kind of falls
Oh.
over.
I got
Oh,
money on the others.
And as
Not
you as you say that,
well,
she
the odds
turns
are 3-1.
she turns and kicks one of them, and he goes flying and falling over to the yawning portal pit and falls down into the darkness. And you guys get the Wilhelm scream.
Shit.
Ah.
Oh, that's a ring out.
It's even now.
So as this is all fighting, right? You get up there, Udaada, and you're getting in it, but there's bad blood here. So, but go ahead and roll a persuasion check or an intimidation check.
All right, we're gonna probably go. I am trying to be scary, so I'm gonna say it's intimidation. This roll's the same for me, so it doesn't really matter. But,
Okay.
And he's gonna say, now which one of you wants to fight this woman? Oh fuck!
Well, so the good news is you get your heroic inspiration back that you spent earlier. So make sure you give that back for the now one.
Yay.
Yeah, so you got that back. Unfortunately, you can't
Can
spend
I
it
just
right
say I
away.
love
But
that
yeah.
rule already.
Yeah, right. Sorry, I was going to do a whole little digress on that. That's not important. Yeah, so you come in, she's like, no, fuck her and her people. And they just are pushing in on her, and they're starting to beat up on her directly. She's taking blows now. This guy's been knocked down on the ground, and he was reeling, but he is now standing back up and about to get back into the thick of it. And they're like, and as you like say that, you turn around, you see that guy get knocked off, and the Wilhelm stream going down, and they're like, fucking Lenny, you bitch! And they're going at it and at it and at it. So blows are going back and forth here. Do you still want to kind of try to interfere here, Udaada? Zaba, you did just see someone get kicked off the edge and into a pit that goes very deep that you can't see the bottom of.
Oh, great.
Whether or not you think that's anyone playing dirty or anything. But do you want to do anything there, Zaba? Because you were kind of closer on it on the action, watching.
How dirty has it gotten? There's only been a chair pulled out, really, and someone got kicked.
To be fair,
kicked off, which is murder. But
after the nat 1 and the persuasion and the bad blood, these three pull out daggers and weapons, and they look like they're about to murder the half orc for sure.
all right. Is there like a chandelier on the ceiling or anything?
Yeah. So it's not that important. Can you guys see? Yeah, so you'll see off to the east there's extra levels, right? Yawning Portal is huge, and I did find an amazing map that even maps up the upper levels. So there's technically a balcony kind of just over where they are, and so underneath that balcony, just enough, there is a chandelier kind of hanging just above them with lit candles in it. There are lit candles in it currently. So what are you thinking?
I want to try and throw a dagger and cut the chandelier. Is there what is located underneath that chandelier?
Roll a perception check because it's there, and you kind of looking up and doing math of like, okay, if it falls, who's it going to land on? Let's make this a perception check for a good judgment call on it. Hard to tell. It's over the group though. Maybe it's just the dudes with weapons. Maybe not.
I'm going for it. I'm mainly getting this is to get attention, and you know.
Are you trying not to
I'm
get it to land on them, or are you hoping that it wasn't over them?
Well, I try to not. I'm just trying to cause a loud ruckus.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
everybody
trying to get it
spot.
land on them. I'm totally fine if you don't want it to be actually landing on them. It can be off them a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Okay. Yeah. So go.
So I throw the dagger.
You throw a dagger. So you're playing a warlock. And you have a dagger. So I don't think you're gonna have like a great. Wait, no, you're a blade of the pack, so you probably have martial prowess, and your charisma stuff will stack with this. Yeah, so go ahead and give me a dagger roll. You should have like a plus to roll next to your dagger. Do you see that? I know we haven't gotten to actions yet. Yep. Indeed, you do see it. A nat 20! So,
Damn.
what I'm going to say with the nat 20 is you tell me what happens. It could be it hits exactly who you want it to be. It could be off for just for the ruckus. You're in control of the narrative with your nat 20. Take it where you want.
Okay, so the dagger hits the rope and the chandelier comes crashing to the floor. It even blocks the door a little bit, and makes a huge. The whole bar goes dead silent, and I shout, "Stop all this fighting! This is pointless and dirty."
Love it. And like and you do get everyone's attention with that nat 20 roll, and people are just like, and you hear someone like, "Oh, it's a nice chandelier," and you hear a shout backing you up from behind as the bartender. It's up to you how much you freak the yawning portal, but there are a lot of familiar faces here. The person in the back behind the bar is the owner. It's Durnan. He's a legendary figure, so it's up to you if you want to know who they are. But he's an ex-adventurer, and he is the owner's behind the bar, and he yells out. And you are a half orc. I say that with quotations because I know there's more going on there with you. He goes, "Listen to the half orc lady. You fuckers get out now before I take my great sword and cut you down. You know better."
This is Durin saying this?
This is Durnan, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so they're just kind of like the brutes kind of go, "You fucking kicked one of our, I don't care what she did. Get out of my tavern before I cut you down." And they're like, "Fine." And they kind of give everyone the finger as they kind of go out. And yeah, and they exit.
Can we assume that everybody knows like who Durnan is, or is that
I'm
Okay.
fine with everyone knowing. It's up to you if you think it, but he's the owner. He's makes his
Good.
presence known as needed. He is the OG here in that moment.
And I imagine their exit was awkward and clumsy because the chandelier was like partially blocking the door.
yeah.
So it was like dead silent and all this metal clunking and then like squeezing through.
One trips on it in the very.
And as they like through the awkward quiet, right, of them leaving, like dragging around, before everything kind of picks back up, Durnan does point at you. He's like, "It's you. Please don't fucking do that to my chandeliers. Thank you." And he goes
Yeah, my
out.
bad.
And he starts grabbing it and starting to like slide it back and stuff. And you do see he came out with, usually doesn't have it, but on his back is this massive, beautiful magic greatsword on his back. And you can tell like he brought it out. He's just kind of looking at everyone like, "Don't make me fucking use this." As he kind of grabs the chandelier and starts dragging it out. And him and the barmaid is helping them.
You need a bit of a hand with that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Riley, I see your message. If you want to, you can.
Woo! All right. Done.
All right.
This might be useful.
Yeah, so it definitely goes off. Question is, can you cast it without any material components or any components, I should say? Because remember,
It's just verbal, so like people near me can probably hear me doing it, but
yeah, for everyone who knows, when it comes to spell casting in a crowd, right? I use video game logic is what I call it. Like if you played a game like Baldur's Gate, when somebody casts a spell, it's like, "I cast a fireball." Like it's very pronounced and very loud to kind of get the emphasis across. So there are abilities, like a sorcerer has ability that allows them to do it silently without doing that. And so that's kind of why those exist, so you can get away with it. So it sounds like you're not necessarily trying to hide it, right?
not really. I'm kind of hoping that the spectacle of what has gone on is going to keep people's attention away, but I'm not trying to stealth it as much as like I'm
Yeah.
just hoping people aren't paying attention.
And so you're like, "I take money," and like, or like, "I put my silver on him," and like instead, like you kind of try and mask it. But go ahead and do a deception check for me. I'm not gonna say it's a very high or hard DC, but I do think I'm gonna ask for a deception here. Or I'll let you do sleight of hand or deception. You're 19. Cool. You get it off. The dudes, more importantly, don't notice you casting a spell in their direction as they're giving the fingers on the way out.
Oh. Mischief, I love it.
Excellent. So I think I heard
I
Zaba said you're like
swear
kind of
that helped them
helping.
good.
You're helping Durnan kind of get the chandelier and start like pulling it out back. The half orc is just kind of like looking at you, Urahara, like, you're the one that I just made some money on. Thank you so much. Bastards. And she's kind of brushing blood off. Fucking I hate him so much. Anyways, and as she's talking, there's more shouts as the action has not ended, as things move on from one to the next, and a rowdy night of the Yawning Portal, as somebody shouts like, "What is that? Oh, is it him?" And you see a hand come over the edge of the Yawning Portal, but it's not a hand of a human man who just got kicked over the edge. It's big, it's green, much too large, as you all watch as a troll pulls itself over the edge. And as he comes up, it is holding the leg of the guy that fell and kind of like throws it on the ground and lets out a bellow. And as it bellows, you notice some things on it. Odd little creatures suddenly, like there was like almost these giant, way too larger than life mosquitoes attached to its body, and they begin detaching from it and swing and moving around the space. Durnan immediately pulls off his greatsword as people begin to scream and shout. Here, let me show you the little icons of the little things now beginning to fly around.
Oh boy, little gremlins.
Sturgis. I think they're Sturgis.
Indeed, as Durnan says, "Someone help us with the fucking surges. I'll take care of the troll." And he kind of goes running over towards it. This is time to roll initiative.
Yes.
Oh boy.
And we'll see how far we get into it at 10:40. I do, because a lot of us on the East Coast, 11 o'clock is pretty late. So I will be ending as close to 11 as possible. All righty.
And just going forward, my vote would be for before 11 versus after 11 if we had to make that choice.
Okay. I usually play right up to it and just kind of see where we are. And I'll ask people like, do you guys want me to do one more round of combat, get through it? But like if it's like, all right, my turn, son, I'll see you guys later. You know, it's a conversation for sure.
Okay.
All righty. Here, I'm just going to back some tokens up a little bit of NPCs that are not going to be involved with this, just so it's a little less cluttered around what you guys are going to, assumingly, not to force your characters into action, but everyone else is running, Durnan standing alone against the troll and the Sturges. All right, so token into initiative. So after you roll initiative, I'm going to, in roll 20, you'll see the little table with your token and turn in it. Just go in there to the 0, click on it, and add your initiative for me. 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. All righty.
Are we?
Somebody rolled out or kind of hinted at they knew, even if it was above table, it's up to you if you want to have your character know this, that these are Sturges. Does anybody want to say that your character knows Sturges and what's going on here? Because I have some information and I'll give it to that person who like might know.
I know it above table. I'm the one who said it. Brent, this is Brent.
Yeah.
I know it above table, but I don't know. I mean, unless there's a reason that he would have seen it on a ship, or
you can roll for it. Do you want to roll a nature check or a history check to see if you knew more about Sturges?
Sure. Those are all crappy rolls for me, so it worked out. I don't really have a strong feeling about it. Holy mackerel, nat 20.
You do have strong feelings.
You've
about
only
it.
got one left for the session.
in that case, I'll yell out just because I can kind of see some other people around trying to get this. I'll say, "Don't let them attach to you." Oh wait, that's not me. Don't let them attach to you.
What you would notice too beyond it is that not all the Sturges are a threat. Most of them coming off of the troll they're like fat mosquitoes. Like they're like drunkenly flying around. And so you point out the ones that are a threat to everyone and you have them focus. And so I'm just going to take the tokens of the ones that are not a threat and just kind of pull them to the side so it's less clutter and you kind of understand what you need to focus on.
I don't see the Sturges. I'm not sure where. I haven't seen like any of the movement
might-
or clicks or anything.
Yeah, you might need to do. It sounds like Roll20 is not playing nice with what you got going on. You might
Or-
want to refresh it.
Are you looking at the wrong floor? Maybe I was doing that for a while.
Oh, true. The floors look almost exactly the same. Yeah, make sure in the west
Yeah,
end
go to
of the
like
screen.
the far left.
That's fair.
Yeah, like zoom out.
Oh,
And
far left. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, this map is actually really big because I have all 3 levels that are mirrored of each
Oh,
other.
no wonder. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Welcome to the party. Like, oh, that.
Hey, look, there's fucking people here and shit. Okay.
I've been moving your token around the map for you and stuff and everything. I love it.
Thank you. Very, very much. I appreciate
Okay.
that.
Man, Udaada's so tall he couldn't even see this floor.
No doubt. Okay, now I just gotta find myself. Okay.
You're
Also,
Hey, there I am.
Kevin,
Yeah.
you can set Zaba's initiative.
in
'cause I-
roll 20.
Oh,
I
it
see
doesn't
you with
auto
11.
set when I roll it.
Yeah, unfortunately,
No,
I'm in
'cause
roll
it's
20.
different.
Yeah.
How do I know what I rolled? Oh, let's.
You can look in either the log of D&D
It was 11.
Beyond or
Yeah.
on Discord.
I got you. I went ahead and plugged you in there. So let's jump into it. As Hillshire, all this is happening. Durnan has said, let me focus on the troll and ask you all to take care of the Sturges. What do you do?
all right, just gonna probably say something like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna assume I'm getting paid for this," and he's gonna pull out a short bow and he's gonna take a shot, just a pot shot at this one.
All right.
Probably wind
Let's
up nailing a cat in the corner or something.
All
Oh,
right, it has 2 HP. How do you want to kill it?
boy.
get us fun with it. You guys are busting out with the nat 20s. I love it.
No.
Well, that's the last one we can have for the session.
You
Were
can
these
roll
ones
your
that were
stuff if you
bloated?
want and stuff. No, everyone that's visible, I took all the ones that aren't a threat off. So any token is a threat.
well,
Any
yeah, it'll
token?
just. I'll just say it just shoots straight through him and gets lodged like in the ceiling somewhere, and he just drops back down.
And blood's like out of it. Okay, love it. Do you want to? If you want to roll your damage and see what your first crit as your character is, go 100%. But
Sure,
Cora, you're up while he's doing that.
6.
6. I do think I'm going to keep doing my crit rules. So the first die that pops up, we're going to max it out. So that 2 is turned into a 6, plus 1 for 7, plus 3 for 10. I'm sorry, I'm going to do my crit rule still.
And I don't know. I'm just going to ask this now because this is the first time I've played with the 2024 rules. When
Mhm.
I'm looking at actions in combat, I see a lot of things that I don't recognize.
Good question. Funny enough, I usually have everyone's sheets pulled up for reference, and I didn't have them up yet. So 1 second. Feel free to shout any out at me that you're thinking of.
One says improvise, influence, ready. Well, ready, I know.
Okay, yeah. So they took some things, and that's a very good question. When you're reading through the rules, some skills were grouped together into one action. It's kind of clever in one end because you might get a bonus. So like you get a bonus to all of your influence actions. And in the book, I'm going to try and I think these are all of them, but those are your charisma skills, right? Those are intimidation. Those are persuasion. Those are deception. There might be another one in there somewhere, but there's that. Persuade. Search is another one. Search is going to be like your survival, investigation. Study is history. Arcane. I don't have those exact, but they give you an action for it. How often I'm going to ask you guys to use that, I don't know. I'll probably say roll either Arcana or history check on the monument in front of you, the magic thing. But there might be an ability that gives you buffs to that action and then would apply to all the skills on that umbrella. I don't know that for a fact, but there might be something like that in there. So that's
Okay.
so if
I
you
just
click
wanted
on
to
influence,
ask
it
that.
might
I don't
tell
know.
you that, just so you know. Alrighty. All right. Cora.
Sweet. Okay, so Cora, as a bonus action, she's going to cast Shield of Faith on herself. And then she's going to do 30 feet, ignore what Durnan said, and she's gonna take a swing at the troll.
All right.
I get these cool, nice little abilities now, where it's so if I have a longsword, I can use the sap condition.
Ooh, yeah. So weapon
Yeah,
masteries are
really
gonna be a
cool.
whole thing. You have it.
Yep.
I don't think anybody. Wait, no. I think our ranger will have weapon masteries. Those buffs and debuffs, you're guys gonna have to help me remember because there's so many of them now. I'm not gonna remember, so you're gonna have to help me with that one,
For
unfortunately.
sure, yeah.
But yep.
So, my mastery with the longsword is if you hit a creature with a longsword, that creature has disadvantage on its next attack roll before the start of your next turn.
Excellent.
All right, I'm gonna try to swing at him. Oh damn, that's gonna be 23.
23 hits.
Okay, we're gonna do a whopping
Sure, it's-
5 damage.
1 second. My roll 20 beeps are on. I want to turn that off because I keep getting blasted in my ears every time someone who has the
You're
extension
good.
on. Let's see, audio. Where is that? Do. Where the heck is the text chat? Okay, enable background chat sounds. Turn that off. Okay. Oh, bow. Okay, you come up and you hit it for 7 damage.
5 damage. Using single-handed, not two-handed.
Oh, it rolled them
Shield.
both for you? That's interesting.
Yeah, I know.
More of this.
Kind of weird.
All right. Bam. 5 damage. Oop. I just realized I don't have Durnan in the turn order. All right. That's you run up and you hit him. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. You scratch the troll and it turns and looks at you.
Great. Give a little paper cut.
I'm going to get to this real quick as I'm going to do its turn, then I'll get Durnan. And actually, just in case Durnan goes between you and them, because I think that's important. So let me get his stat block up real quick. Okay. You did not roll a good initiative. Okay, so the troll goes and it goes after the first thing. I just scratched him. All right. Here comes the first
This is
attack.
where Cora dies.
Okay, only 11. So
Okay.
squeaks
Well,
out,
misses.
trying to bite you. So that was the first of its 3 attacks. And now here come the second one with the claws. That's going to be a 17 to hit.
Misses.
Ooh, what is your AC? Long
20
swordy.
right now.
20. Nice. Okay. I thought I was going to kill you.
Ah,
Nah,
Alright.
you get up there with your sword and board. A 16 to hit as you block, dip, dive, and dipping and diving. All right, Zaba,
dodge, dip,
you're up.
dive, and dodge.
Hmm.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a troll.
The troll will push out though, like this.
That's still in range though. No
Yeah,
opportunity
it's
attack.
not getting out without of range of you. Yeah, correct.
He has disadvantage. Oh, I'm sorry. He was supposed to be rolling disadvantage on his, but it doesn't matter.
On the next attack roll, right? It's not all of them, I don't think.
Let me. Okay. The creature has disadvantage on its next attack roll before the start of your next turn.
Perfect. Yeah. So good thing it missed either way, but good thing to keep track
Yep.
of. Thank you.
Yep.
Baba.
Zaba,
Get
what
'em.
we got?
Drop another chandelier.
Still shit though.
Well, if they couldn't fly, I would totally cut the rope on that little platform there. But
No, wait. I'm too
Durnan
close to
turns
it.
and looks
Don't
at
do
you.
it.
Don't you fucking destroy any more of my tavern. As you're like sizing up the winch.
so
Miss.
can I reach if I go? Can I reach this one that's closest to me if I move to the
Yeah, I think
square
they're kind
to
of
the
like,
top
yeah.
left of it?
If you
Yeah,
go like
okay.
here, easy peasy. Any of these squares here, so you can 5-foot
Okay.
reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
say they're
I'm gonna
coming
attack.
down at you all. Yeah.
I'm gonna attack that one that's closest with my katana.
13, I believe. 13's a miss, unfortunately. I think it's because they're small and fast, so you just miss. Their AC is 14. You just missed. You have,
an inspiration?
Yeah, you have inspiration if you want to spend it. It'll allow you to re-roll it and then choose between the two rolls. Actually, no. Funny
Yeah,
enough,
I know.
they reworked it, but I'm pretty sure now heroic inspiration. This is what it's supposed. I'm trying to tell what people what is raw, just so you know what the new rules are. I'm pretty sure the new one is you can give yourself advantage before you roll. I think I could be wrong on that, but I'm still probably gonna allow you to just do it as a re-roll. I don't think it's a huge issue.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'll use it.
Okay,
Boom. Let's go again.
Get him.
that'll do it. 21 will hit.
Nice.
They only have 2 health, but go ahead and go ahead and just for experience purposes, get us a damage roll. Oh yeah, are you wielding your katana with one hand or 2 hands?
Well, I imagine it would be 2 hands.
Yeah, so then there's 2 options. You have a D8 or a D10 option underneath that attack roll. So you'll be doing the D10 if you're doing 2-handed.
Okay, I will use that one then.
All right. Full damage. Blood just everywhere as it gets cut down. All right. You do have a little bit of remaining movement if you'd like to use it. Otherwise, it's going to be Udana's turn.
Alright, yeah, I think I might move. Is he down? Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah,
Okay.
you killed it. Yep. You slice it right out of the air as it comes flying past you. It looked like it was going for Graph and just.
Can I pull out a crossbow as a bonus action, or is there a loading thing or anything that I could
Depends on the
prepare it
crossbow
with?
you're using. Like heavy ones, there's a whole thing with it. You're doing a light crossbow. That is a 2-handed weapon. They did change rules of how you switch weapons. For simplicity in this moment, I'm going to say you're allowed to switch your weapon now.
I'm
So
gonna
there's a
switch to
light
the
crossbow.
crossbow.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm pretty generous with weapon switching, but they do have new rules for it. But something like a light crossbow, you switching between them, it's going to be pretty easy. Okay, Udada.
All right. He's gonna run up here almost parkourish and put a hand down on this little lip to this thing down here, and he's gonna do a what's called a round kick from the ground.
Love it.
And so his hand kind of goes down, but he kicks his foot out and kicks this this sturge that's up there in the air. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Did you get
And,
another nut? Oh, I thought you got another nut 20. I was like,
no,
you guys
no,
kidding? You guys are
no.
wild. Yeah, go for it.
No. But yeah, if I can make it to the point where, like, because I did a round kick, how it like slams him, it kind of slams him against the wall of the inner side of that. Bam! It splats against the wall and like tumbles down.
Yes, there's like
He's
a.
already dead.
Yeah.
Sweet.
He's gone. Yeah. 100%.
I don't. How much did I move? 5, 10, 15. Was that 15 or 20? I don't know how you do movement.
Diagonals 5, just all diagonals. So 5, 10, 15 to get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Jump's a full action, right? I couldn't like jump for part of my action.
No, you can jump as a part of your movement. I think
as
there's
a
new.
part of my movement.
Yes, you can't go beyond your movement speed, but essentially you can jump. Are you trying to jump to this here?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna try and jump to where the other Sturge is, but
Ooh, on
yeah, that's
that.
not gonna happen.
So you have how much remaining movement do you have?
15. But I also
Ooh.
have acrobatics. I don't know if that would help me. Like,
Well,
somehow
it's like
extend
this.
movement or-
I would allow you to try with a roll, because it is just beyond it. If it was within it, it would have been 100% easy. You could try, but if a failure, there would be like, do you catch? Because if not, you're plummeting down into this deep well.
Yeah.
And so it's 100% risky. Like, not
Yeah,
to
yeah.
scare you, but technically, if you fell, there's enough fall damage there that your character would, I think, 99% just auto die. I say that with a lot of love. So that's risky.
I mean, I have a heroic inspiration. If I failed it, I'm looking. The reason is I'm looking around, and I don't know that anyone else is going to get to it this round. But
What,
that would
the,
help me to fight it.
The
one
Scourge
that's
in the
out here.
center?
Oh
do
yeah,
s-
but you guys got ranged weapons.
Yeah, you do see
So-
Graf with, I think, a bow, right, Graf?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the last Sturge, right?
It is. Yep.
And Durnan told us, this is his place. I'm going to respect his decision. Unlike my friend Cora,
She has selective hearing.
so he'll kind of do the spin, and then he's just going to kind of get back on his feet on the edge and look around to combat to see what he could do next, and he's gonna not use his bonus action.
Yeah, just above table. Like, if you had the movement to make it to that, I would have allowed you to jump with no checks just to get there for
Cool.
rule of cool, have fun. But just it being on that
Very
edge, it was going to kind of then dip down until let's make some checks for it. So
No problem.
Durnan turns comes up. His first attack was a hit, so he does 15 to the troll. He sees you all handling the Sturgis very well. He's like, someone get a lamp or get some fucking magic fire. When this thing goes down, we need to make sure it burns. And he that was his first attack. Second attack is a miss.
Oh, I thought you had it, Durnan?
Third attack is a miss. He is not rolling great
Wow,
against the
Durnan.
troll. You're next. Lauren,
This
you're
is
not
all Lauren,
allowed
not
to
Cora.
start.
I know.
We have a joke. Her characters always end up annoying my NPCs no matter what's happening.
She was just explaining it to us.
Oh,
like an hour ago.
Yeah.
That was a fair warning.
I've literally had to
Cora
step
is
back with
not-
NPCs. I'm like, they're not going to get annoyed. They're not going to get annoyed. We're not getting into a bitching contest. All right. One of the Sturges gets to go. I'm going to do 1, 2. Let's do it players for fun. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. I'll roll D6 real quick. 4. So Zyba's 1, Gravis 2, Hershire, Cora. Oh, I'm sure he's just searching. All right, so the Sturge does come flying at you. Miss High AC, of course. I'm focusing on the High AC character.
Yeah, I know. I was like, please hit me.
14 is a
Really
hit.
close to me.
14 unfortunately misses. So it busts off of your shield. All right, Graf
It's
is up.
gnawing up the middle.
Yeah. And Graf will
All
be 11:01, so Graf will be the end, and then we'll be ending on that note. So
Yeah.
go ahead, Graf.
I turned into a pumpkin 60 seconds ago. So
All right. I will grab something out of one of my side pockets and fling it, and you see a dagger going towards the Sturge. As I
Oh
roll,
yes.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Oh my god, don't miss, don't hit me.
Um,
Oh god, no.
As much as I would like to punish Lauren, and all of this, I do not do. Oh, you missed with your rage and you hit your ally. I don't do that, even on a nat one.
So,
Unless
I'm gonna
Cora
guess that
says, "Oh yeah,
dagger
let him
just
hit
kinda
me." I think it's
plinks
funny.
against
But,
the-
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
If it
guess
just
the
bounces
dagger
my
just kind of
armor
plinks
anyway.
against the wall of the hole and just
Yeah. It is-
pitifully falls to the.
You're trying to get a shot, right? It's like on her shield, trying to get to her. So it's like she's like trying to push it off. So unfortunately, you miss at the last second, and just like as it moves off of her movements, and you hit the wall. All right. Anything else, Graf?
I wish I could draw a second one, but no.
Excellent. So we'll end on that note. I'd like to keep this ending quick because I know everyone's usually really tired on the East Coast. So everyone, good night. GG's. Let me have any questions. Hope we're all on board for next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. GG's.
awesome.
GG's.
New campaign
GG's.
hoodies. Bye bye bye.
See
Bye
y'all
bye.
next Wednesday.
Mhm.
All right. Bye bye, guys.
Let me know if any questions,
Bye.
everyone. Bye bye.
GG's.